of Coffee Conversations. My name is Daisy, and I work at the Student Services Department, and we're here with our good friend Morgan Quimby. Hi, Morgan. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about why you decided to be interviewed today?
Yeah, currently my role is a student support systems TOSA at the high school and middle school level, but I am also a person with dyslexia. So navigating that as a student, as an adult, has been challenging. Just wanted to share my experience.
Nice. Would you like to share how teachers could have supported you a little more?
Yeah, I really think that the biggest challenge for me in high school is that I didn't know that what my disability meant, and I don't think my teachers knew. And so there was a lot of pulling me out of class to help me, but not necessarily knowing how to help me. And since I didn't know what I didn't know, so I didn't know I learned different or was learning to read differently, I didn't know that that was impacting me and didn't know how to advocate or tell people what I needed. And there was a lot of assumptions made about what I needed, as opposed to asking me and listening to who I was. I also think if teachers would have been able to see me as I saw myself, so as a person that was trying, instead of if you tried a little harder or if you just did a little bit more, that would have made a huge difference, because I felt like I was trying everything I could and it was never good enough. So I don't even know if I made it to third grade before I gave up.
How would you recommend teachers help people with dyslexia?
Being open to us learning differently or presenting our understanding differently. So like my reading fluency is never going to be great out loud. My daughter is reading at a more fluent level than me out loud in first grade. So just knowing that just because I don't read out loud doesn't mean I don't understand. Knowing that I can think at a very high level, but again, my reading level is going to be slower and I need more support. So if I can't picture what I'm learning or what I'm reading, I can't understand it. So I have to be able to see how things fit together. Books are great, but if I could read a research article over a book, I'll do that any day, because the charts and the information that's just black and white, and I'm not having to infer someone else's meaning of something, but just I can interpret things the way that I understand it, helps me more than trying to figure out what angle this person's coming from or what the nuance or this cultural assumption of what someone means. That black and white text that's linked to visuals and descriptions, and it's a lot easier for me to understand. And that I may not do well on a paper pencil test, and if you grade me on my spelling, I will fail. But I can present my understanding in different ways.
Great, that's great information. So Morgan, can you tell us a little bit about your educational background?
Yeah, so I graduated from high school with honors and AP classes. When I entered high school, I was told by my honors English teacher, and I will just never forget my first day my freshman year, where my teacher called me up in front of class and said, I've never had a kid on an IEP in my honors class, and I'm not going to start now, and sent me to my counselor, and in front of everyone. And that's where I learned that that everyone else knew I was dumber than my peers. So that was really hard. And my dad went in the next day and said, okay, we're getting you off your IEP and you're gonna go into honors. And so he helped me out with my education and put high standards on all honors and AP classes in order to play sports. So I met what he expected, because he was there to help. And then I went on and got a degree from Linfield, and then got my master's degree, and have continued on ever since. I love learning. I love college. I hated everything about school up until college, but once I got to practice and do labs and things that were around my own interest, I love learning. I wish I would have known how much I love learning and how much I could learn on my own and differently when I was younger. I just think it would have been a different life for me.
Is there anything that you would want to tell teachers that maybe they can communicate to parents that maybe have a disability like yours?
Yeah, that it's okay if we learn different, if we read different, if we sound different when we're working through problems, but ultimately it's what's our understanding. Can we make connections? Do we have opportunities to practice things that we're good at, so that where effort directly correlates to success, rather than I can try to read as hard as I can. I mean, I've spent tons of time trying to read and perform the way other people expect me to without success, because that's what a disability is. But being able to express ourselves or to have something where my effort directly correlates to how people perceive my success is important. So putting effort into physical activity and being able to see a measurable change. Growth doesn't have to be measured by a letter grade or an academic indicator. It can be based on the way I feel about my understanding or my ability to explain connections. looking for pattern recognition is also something that dyslexics are very strong at. So being able to see connection between things that don't seem connected. So taking the time to listen. And some people might think, well, what my kid's saying doesn't connect to other stuff. Have that child explain their reasoning and justification, and we might be surprised at how well they actually understand how things intertwine and can teach us a lot about it.
Well, thank you so much, Morgan. I've learned a lot, and I know that maybe other HSD employees have too. So thank you for joining us at Coffee Conversation.
So thank you.
Thank you.